Hello, everyone. So, today I am making my homemade pickles. I already had pre-cut my cucumbers, and I got two mason jars because it looks like I have enough for two. So, all I did is really pretty much cut the cucumbers. That's pretty much all you need in whatever seasons. A lot of people do them differently from what I normally do, where they use all this extra seasoning stuff, but I have grandparents and great aunts and uncles from the deep south that made jar pickles, jar pretty much everything. And growing up, they taught me how to make a lot of jarred stuff, especially pickles. So the one of the ingredients I'm using is vinegar, salt, and pepper. And if y'all ever watch my video, for people that been following me for a long time, that seen some of my videos, y'all know I don't measure nothing. But for the people that's coming in, you'll get used to it. I don't measure anything. So it's pretty much somewhat equal parts of vinegar and water. And pour your vinegar in. And you just pretty much eyeball. And this is how much vinegar I'm gonna put in each one. It's like not halfway, but almost a halfway to each mason jar. And these mason jars is pretty good for anything. You can these mason jars, or you can use the spaghetti jars instead of the cans. These come in handy for anything, where you can get the glass ones, even though they're a little bit pricier at the grocery store. But if you get the jar ones, these particular mason jars come in handy for anything. I like to keep jars because of the fact I can wash them and reuse them. There's only a little bit left in the bottle. And then I'm going to stick my cucumbers in before I add the water, because I don't want it to overflow. Then you stick as many in. Then you want to add some water. I'm going to pour a little bit out. But I think I put too much. If you get some over the place, then that's fine. And you're going to try to stick as many as you can in these jars, as much as you can. If you get a little bit over the place, I always want to make sure that you have a rag or something nearby. Do the same thing to the second one, because I only used two cucumbers. And yes, you're going to be selling vinegar for about like 2 days. You want to try to fit as much as you can in each jar. And just add some water. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt to each one to dilute the vinegar. Because if you don't add salt, this is the way I was always taught. If you don't add salt and pepper to it, that it will the vinegar you're not going to taste nothing but vinegar in your pickles. Some people like to go out and buy the seasoning packets, but I'm not, because that's just a waste of time and money to go out and get the seasoning packets. And then you're just going to put your lids on the jars and just shake them. And just make sure your lid's on tight. And you want to shake real good to mix up the pepper, salt, and vinegar and water. And sometimes you have a little piece left, so I'm going to eat it. Season all. The salt is to help dilute the vinegar a little bit. And I normally let these sit for about like 4 days to a week. If I leave them out, I normally let them sit for about like 4 to 5 days if I sit them out in my pantry. But since I'm going to put them in my fridge, I'm going to let them sit in my fridge for about a week to maybe a week and a day. And that's how I normally do my pickles. And compared to store-bought pickles, and the only thing I really did is 2 cucumbers can get 2 jars, some vinegar, some water, to salt and pepper, and that's all I did. And the salt and pepper is to even out the vinegar in the water for your pickles. And this is the way I was taught. And as far as the mason jars, they're jars I had recently got from using spaghetti sauce, and I cleaned them out and washed them and use them. They come in handy for pretty much anything. That's why I prefer the jars over the cans, and because they're reusable for anything. So, and that's all you gotta do. And just then tomorrow morning, the next day, only thing you gotta do is just do this at least once a day for the next couple of days, and you're good to go. Oh, and that's how I do my pickles. And like I said, everybody's different from how I do my pickles. Some people don't use vinegar or add seasoning to. I'm going don't add seasoning or add the seasoning packets for their pickles. But this is the old way that I was taught how to do pickles. So only thing I can say, do the same thing. Set them aside. If you leave them out in your pantry, about 5 days. But if you want to put them in the fridge, about a week to a week and a day. All depends on how ripe you want them. So, and this is what they need. The only thing that you need: some cucumbers, some vinegar, some water, salt, pepper. This is how I always did mine. So, everyone, I love y'all. God, peace, love, and happiness.